Tonight in KSLA investigates a dream home turned into a nightmare for a local couple as they say their builder pulled the plug on their contract, leaving behind a half-built house, surprise liens, and a trail of unanswered questions.
KSLA's Jolia Daughtry dug into the paper trail and spoke with the Louisiana Better Business Bureau about what you can do to avoid similar contracting issues. Jolia, what'd you discover?
Jeff Ashley, this nearly $1 million home was meant to be the Washington family's dream. Instead, it's a nightmare of exposed wiring, surprise liens, and a long list of costly repairs. I dug into the paper trail and spoke with experts to uncover how this happened and what you can do to protect yourself before signing a contract.
We were excited. Dream home. They told us that, they had everything in place for us. Someone to walk us through the process.
Carlton and April, Washington began the planning for their home in April 2023. But what was supposed to be a straight path to building their dream home quickly took a detour.
This is our house that we're supposed to be in 2 years ago, dealing with PhD Homes, and we're still not in it yet.
In March of 2024, the couple received this letter from PhD Homes, LLC, stating their contract had been terminated. According to the Washingtons, the contract was tied to a payment dispute over the final withdrawal with work incomplete. And if that wasn't enough, the couple hired a private inspector after noticing exposed electrical wiring. The private inspection services stated in their 30-page report multiple services needed to be done for the Washingtons to get their home up to code.
And the code for stairs, I think, is 11 inches foot space, and here we have 6. And so we have to tear all this out, banisters and all, just to try to fix what PhD Homes did here. But we were charged for this.
And the couple say their dream home has now turned into one of their worst nightmares.
One day we got a letter in mail since the lumber company had put a lien on our land, and we were like, a lien for $138,000. When we called around, we learned that since the lumber company dropped the lumber off at our house and it wasn't paid for, they could put a lien on our land for the lumber.
This means the Washingtons' property is now held hostage by a debt they didn't incur, making it hard to sell or refinance. The Washingtons aren't alone. Another client, Brittany Malone, says she also fell victim to the same contractors.
We had Austin Fire Systems that was owed a balance of $35,000.
Brittany Malone says her husband hired Palmer Hall LLC in 2023 to do work at her husband's automotive business.
Here's a picture of our women's bathroom, and the sink fell off the wall. No one was in the bathroom at the restroom at the time.
Malone says the business construction was unfinished and poorly done, which left her and her husband out of thousands of dollars.
Here, you're going to see the paint is peeling on our floor. They had the floor guy come out 3 different times, and he still did not complete the floors the correct way. And that's just not the only spot. Like, that's our entire back area.
According to the Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors, the owners of PhD Homes LLC are Ricky Terrell Hall and Justin Palmer. Records show when the Washingtons signed their contract, PhD Homes LLC only had a commercial license, not a residential one. They didn't obtain the required residential license until May 11, 2023, roughly 1 month after signing the contract with the Washingtons. However, were licensed when they broke ground to start the Washington home in July of 2023. Malone says her husband entered their contract with Palmer Hall LLC on February 28, 2023. Malone gave KSLA News 12 copies of checks she says were signed by PhD Homes LLC. However, she signed her contract with Palmer Hall LLC. But both businesses tie back to one name, Ricky Terrell Hall. Digging into this investigation, I uncovered on the state's contractor licensing board, the company, Palmer Hall LLC, has no record of proper licensing. However, Palmer Hall LLC is listed on the state's Secretary of State website, being managed by the same contractors, Ricky Terrell Hall and Justin Palmer. Now the Washingtons are forced to fix past mistakes out of pocket.
The bank didn't give us any more money, so we asked the bank, could we use the last draw that was left? They left us with one draw left. They bid our house for $852,000. That $150,000 left. We had garage doors to do, electrician to finish. We had to double pay the electrician because he hadn't been paid to come back and finish the job. The plumbing work we did pretty much ourselves to try to save some money.
With limited funds left, the couple now is left with repairs on their own, as majority of their money is gone. Neither are licensed to do any work on the house, but say they are left with no choice after being left with limited funds.
And all that money has gone to waste. And so we're just left with it, more not a dream now, but pretty much a nightmare.
According to the Better Business Bureau, or BBB, in June of this year, a complaint was filed against PhD Homes, LLC. After the BBB reached out to PhD Homes to investigate, no one responded to the complaint, which led the BBB to drop the business's letter grade to a C. And now the Washingtons have one thing to say to the company they say made their dream home a disaster.
Fix your wrongdoing, we would be satisfied. We just want to be in our dream home with no headaches. We just want to live freely. And that's what I would say. Just if you could fix it for us, fix it.
I reached out to both owners of PhD Homes LLC to get their side of the story as it pertains to the Washingtons, Malones, and the BBB complaint. We spoke briefly with Ricky Terrell Hall. He answered briefly, then refused to comment on the matter.
This is really frustrating situation. So the Louisiana Business Bureau, Better Business Bureau, says they have some contracting battles that are common not only in the state, but also across this country. They offered this piece of advice before you sign on the dotted line. Make sure you research your contractor at bbb.org and look at their letter grades. Get multiple bids for contractors, and the BBB recommends to find at least 3 to find a ballpark range for all of your work and to ask for recent references for those same contractors before you sign.